As we begin this study of lesson number 10, I want you to notice in chapter 39 and verse 14 is the first time that we're introduced to Gedaliah, and he becomes an important part of our study, and I wanted to take a moment to see what we've already seen about his family tree and to see what kind of people they were, just not that he's going to get assassinated. But in chapter 39 and verse 14, they sent and took Jeremiah out of the court of the guard and committed unto him Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, that he should carry him home, so he dwelt among the people. This is when Zedekiah has left, the walls have been breached. Here Nebuchadnezzar had destroyed Jerusalem, and they're taking captive the people, and Jeremiah is taken captive, and we see this taking place as Zedekiah goes to his painful end with being taken to captivity and his sons killed and so forth. We saw that in the latter part of 39. So this particular verse 14 becomes important. It introduces us to Gedaliah. And I want us to see that here he is the son of Ahikam. And it all takes us back to Shaphan. And here was a scribe. And he has, from Ahikam, he has Gedaliah, which we'll look at here. But from Shaphan came also Jeremiah and Micaiah, and we've seen them already. And I want us to be able to put those together with Shaphan and realize, well, Gedaliah is of that family tree and was indeed noble. So let's see, remember Josiah? When he was involved in taking Jeremiah's role, that goes back even further with Josiah. But here we're looking at chapter 36 and verse 25. We read when the king was going to burn the roll of Jeremiah, we see things happening here that includes this man. For he says in verse 25, moreover, Elnathan and Delaiah and Gemariah had made intercession to the king that he would not burn the roll, but he would indeed hear, but he did not hear them. So don't burn that roll. Who said that? Who was involved in being sent? Well, Jeremiah, and he made intercession to the king. So the idea of Jeremiah's work, his work in teaching the people and presenting the will of God, it wasn't good news in the sense that everything's going to be okay. People need to turn their hearts to God, and of course, he wasn't going to allow that to happen. We saw all the events leading up to that point where they read the scroll and they begin to realize that this is something important, and all of a sudden we see Micaiah. Chapter 36 and verse 11, Micaiah, the son of Gemariah, the son of Shaphan. So there's your family tree there. We'll find that what he did, he heard out of the book of all the words of Jehovah, and he went down unto the king's house, unto the scribe's chamber, and lo, all the princes were sitting there. And Micaiah declared in verse 13 unto them all the words he had heard when Baruch read the book in the ears of the people. Therefore all the princes sent Jehuel. They're going to say, well, what are we going to do about that? And the king needs to hear this. Well, who's involved in doing that? Well, Micaiah. Where did he come from? He come from Uriah, and that's indeed Shaphan. And so we see Gedaliah is of a people that was connected with the scribes. And so we go back to 29 and verse 3. Remember when Jeremiah had message sent to the people in Babylonian captivity? We'll find in verse 3 of this chapter, by the hand of Elkasah, the son of Shaphan, and Gemariah, the son of Hilkiah, whom Zedekiah, king of Judah, sent unto Babylon to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, saying, Thus saith Jehovah of hosts, the God of Israel, unto all the captivity, whom I have caused to be carried away captive from Jerusalem unto Babylon. Build ye houses, dwell in them. You remain with them in captivity, because 70 years is going to take place. Well, who's involved in doing that? It's part of the family tree of Shaphan. And so Gedaliah, he must have been a Chaldean. He's placed as a governor over the people. No, what was smart was to take people that were indeed of noble character, that indeed they could trust. Could Nebuchadnezzar trust Jeremiah? Why did he let him go? He prophesied things that would be, from the standpoint of Nebuchadnezzar, pretty good news. I'm going to take Jerusalem. And they treated him kindly. So here comes Gedaliah, and he is indeed from the scribes. He's been sent by Zedekiah, messengers of the people and the priesthood, and he was of noble character, and they place him as governor over the people. And that was very smart. That's wise. Indeed, you're not going to have someone ruling over them, but a king is ruling them. Nebuchadnezzar is going to be ruling them, but we need a day-to-day activities taken care of. And what they do, they kill him. They kill Gedaliah. They are involved in putting him to death. But I wanted to see that we've seen these names before, and we read over them. And I want us just to pay close attention, because he becomes a principal character in these next few chapters of him, and realize that he has his grandfather and of course father and grandfather. They had been involved before in these events, that they're on Jeremiah's side. They're promoting Jeremiah. They're wanting them, don't burn the roll. Here's what the messengers, we had trust them to send to people in Babylonian captivity, and you're going to remain there. You build houses. God will bless you in the end. And that's what we're seeing taking place there. So what we see is that how many times, now question number 2, I'm skipping around, but I wanted to get that out. Any questions about what do we know of the work of Gedaliah and his father and grandfather? And what we'll see in chapter 40 is the fact that he gives them instructions of what they should do. Verse 8, they came to Gedaliah to Mizpah, to wit Ishmael the son of Nehemiah, and Jonathan the sons of Kareah, and Seraiah the son of Tanumeth, the son of Iphi, he mentions all these names, and other men, and Gedaliah the son of Hiakim, the son of Shaphan. We realize that lineage now, swearing to them and their men, saying, Fear not to serve the Chaldeans. Dwell in the land, serve the king of Babylon, and it shall be well with you. For behold, I will dwell at Mizpah, and stand there before the Chaldeans that shall come unto us. But ye gather your wine and summer fruits and oil, and put them in your vessels, and dwell in your cities that you've taken, that you are now able to go back to. And likewise, when all the Jews that were in Moab and among the children of Ammon and Edom, they were in their countries, heard the king of Babylon had left a remnant of Judah, and that he had set over them Gedaliah the son of Hiakim, over them Gedaliah the son of Hiakim, the son of Shaphan, then all the Jews returned out of all their places where they were driven, and came to the land of Judah, to Gedaliah unto Mizpah, and gathered wine and summer fruits very much. So Jerusalem is destroyed. And what we'll see, and these are the questions we'll come to is, well, where was he going to be ruling from? Not Jerusalem. It's a mess. Lamentations, as we'll study next after Jeremiah, was indeed the idea that the gold is just diminished, and all the things of the sanctuary, just limestone scattered. It's just a ruined city. So we see this place of Ramah, this place of Mizpah, as we'll see in these chapters. We'll realize they were 5 to 8 miles north of Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a mess. So where is Gedaliah going to rule? I'm going to go to Jerusalem. No. He's as we'll see, in Mizpah. And that takes place. So that's what work we know of Gedaliah and his father and grandfather. He was going to treat the people, he encouraged them, as indeed the people being captive, there would be a remnant in Judah. And when that news gets to Ammon, the people of Ammon, they're going to get someone to assassinate Gedaliah. And he's a noble character among the Jews. I don't think he's a Chaldean. And sometimes we think he just put one of his own guys in there and they killed him. No, he's one of them. What did they want to do to Jeremiah? We've seen him in the pit. We've seen him put in that narrow place where the pit was full of mire, and they just wanted him to die there. That's what they wanted to do with the messengers, giving a message that they're not in tune with. And these people that are there will see their character of who are involved in allowing this to take place, this assassination. And they're not going to come out well, but they weren't serving God either, as we'll see. So our first question is that, well, chapter 39, we have any questions upon that? His family tree, a little bit of history. You've already read it. You've been reading that when you're studying that, but sometimes we read over those names. I want us to have a grounding there. Just trace it back to Shaphan, and you realize what, as a scribe and so forth, that was their family. And their sons and his son and grandson were doing pretty good, serving the Lord. So what we see here in chapter 39 is that he is indeed turned over. In verse 9, Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carried away captive unto Babylon the residue of the people that remained in the city, the deserters also that fell away to him, and the residue of the people that remained. But Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, left of the poor of the people that had nothing in the land of Judah, and gave them vineyards and fields at the same time. Now, Nebuchadnezzar, that's King Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, gave charge concerning Jeremiah to that chief captain, Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, saying, take him and look well to him, and do him no harm, but do unto him even as he shall say unto thee. And so the captain of the guard sent, and Nebuzaradan and Rabsaris and Negal-Rezar and Rabnag and all the chief officers of the king of Babylon, and they sent and took Jeremiah out of the court of the guard and committed him unto Gedaliah. That's where we first read about him. So he's being released. And all of a sudden, chapter 40, we got him in chains. Again, as we've been seeing, you may have one account. This is the second account. This is the account that will now open him up to deal with the people, as we'll see in the rest of this section of up to chapter 45. That indeed, that maybe things had gone wrong in the initial plan, and he was still in chains, but he's delivered over. He's going to be released and out of his chains, and we see repetition again, but it is a different account, not a contradictory account, a different account to give us a fullness of the picture. And so Jeremiah's book works that way. So this is that second account that we'll see in this section. So how many times did the Chaldeans set Jeremiah free to go home? I think one time. And this is just putting that whole picture together. Okay. Now let me drop up here. Question number 3. In what city did Gedaliah set up his administration? And why this city? What's that? It's I didn't hear you. Mizpah. Okay, Mizpah. So, okay. I'm sorry. I'm not listening very well. The answer was Mizpah, if you didn't hear that. And that's exactly right. And that was north of Jerusalem. And that's where he would tell them to gather their fruits, and people in the region would do that. Why this city is what I was looking for. Jerusalem was destroyed. Yes, is that right? I know I'm repeating that so others can hear. Over the internet, they can't hear you when you answer your questions. And so I'm trying to do that. And then also it helps me. Because apparently I'm not hearing very well either. So there's the point about the why he's there, and he'd a lot of times be ruling from Jerusalem, but it's destroyed right now, and that becomes important. What did Gedaliah emphasize in his first speech to the conquered people of Judah? Stay in the land, and it will go well with you, won't it? You'll just do that. And of course, there's a group there that indeed is going to want to go to Egypt, and we'll kind of understand the background to that. But in his speech to them, if we read part of that, the people are going to be there, and they need to remain there. They're remnant there, and it will go well with them. That will take place. So there is how the leadership was working. Jeremiah is going to be giving them the message about what they should do. So it wasn't something that they couldn't understand. Just stay there. Did he provide did he say there are provisions made? You got your vineyards, you got all the necessities that you have, and therefore it will be profitable to you, but you'll be under the rule of Governor Gedaliah, like under Governor Pilate in the New Testament. The Romans had those people in charge to take care of the people around them, working with the Herods, who had kind of infiltrated the Jewish line. And that's what was a wise way to govern the people. How did God in the New Testament take care of the Grecian widows who were Hebrews but not from Jerusalem and Palestine? How did he do that? He picked those with names that we recognize as being Gentile names to take care of their needs. We trust the people that we are around, and of our thinking, maybe of our ethnic origin. That's a wise thing to do, and that's what's happening here. But the message is set forth is clear, and we're going to see that becomes important as well. Any other points you want to make that we can about that of what he emphasizes?
He really confirmed what Jeremiah had been saying all along. That might be part of why he died.
Yeah.
Is the people didn't want to hear, settle down, and don't be afraid of the Chaldeans. And Jeremiah had been saying that all along. Don't fight for it and
Point being made is that idea of why Jeremiah may be being killed is because of the message he was giving. We've seen that happening, that very much could be there, because they could be sustained. There was going to be well with them. And we know Jeremiah is told it's going to be 70 years of captivity, but they didn't want that. And they're looking at different places for their hope and help, and that becomes very important. Okay, question number 5. Who is behind the assassination plot of Gedaliah? Let's notice in verse 11, when all the Jews that were in Moab and among the children of Ammon and in Edom that were in the countries heard that the king of Babylon had left a remnant of Judah, and that he had set over them Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, then all the Jews returned out of all places wherein they were driven, and came to the land of Judah. Now, verse 13. Moreover, Johanan, the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces that were in the fields, came to Gedaliah to Mizpah, and said unto him, Dost thou know who's behind the plot? This might be the answer. Dost thou know that Baales, the king of the children of Ammon, has sent Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, to take thy life? Ishmael being sent. Who sent him? And the people of the Jews of Ammon, they come. But here's the king wanting also to have this plot executed. But Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, did what? He didn't believe them. Then Johanan, the son of Kareah, spake to Gedaliah, he spake to Gedaliah, son of Kareah, spake to Gedaliah in Mizpah, secretly, saying, Let me go, I pray thee, and I will slay Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, and no man shall know it. Wherefore should he take thy life, that all the Jews that are gathered unto thee should be scattered, and the remnant of Judah perish? So there was the importance of being, we got a remnant that's left, and we need to be able to stay protected. And they're going to think, well, as we see, they'll want to go to Egypt. But that's before the assassination. That's after the assassination that were taking place. But what he sees here is that they'll take your life, and we're going to be affected by this. And the Jews that are gathered shall be scattered, and the remnant of Judah, which is very weak at this time, the very poorest were involved with that, they shall indeed perish. But Gedaliah the son of Hakim said unto Johanan the son of Kareah, Thou shalt not do this thing, for thou speakest falsely of Ishmael. So, was Gedaliah believing in all things? Showing love? Putting the best implications on people's motives? Oh, he wouldn't do that. And we think that that's our first step when we hear gossip. When we hear things that might be true, might not be true. And I just think about this. In the New Testament, we don't check out our brains and understand how things might work and all the things that are doing that. It's not saying we're just be credulous and accept everybody. But it tells me sometimes love is very vulnerable. It makes you very vulnerable. You have to realize I trusted in him and he wasn't trustworthy. I thought he was a Christian, and he's not. I thought he was a friend, he's not. But what do you do at the first? You recognize I'm believing all things and hopeth all things. You're putting the best motives on people. That's your first step. Doesn't mean you don't put two and two together or think about things, how things could be. Maybe he's naive. Maybe he thought I'm bringing good things to the people. I don't believe that man would do that. And that would happen, but it does. I mean, there's a group of people that are going to assassinate him. And whether they thought they could, or whether they didn't like having to stay in that area that's been demolished, Jeremiah is given the option to go to Babylon with his people. He's going to be free to go where he wants to. And he chose to stay with the people. And he would be prophesying on behalf of them and teaching. But this came from the people. I think the Jews probably wanted that out of Ammon when they came, but the king of Basil is the one that is behind the assassination plot. And when Johanan warns him, he does what? No, I don't want you to go kill him. But that'll be the one that will kill him. What was Gedaliah's reaction to Johanan's warnings? I made my statement. How would you assess that? David? He denied that. I don't think that's true about him. He wouldn't do that. And yet, that's exactly what's going to take place. All right. Question number 7. Describe the character of Ishmael. What? Oh, evil? Yes. And we see evil sometimes is it works harm. It's full of malice. It's full of hatred. It's what causes people to do things that you normally, how could anybody do that to another person? But that's what we see take place. So in chapter 41 and verse 1, it came to pass in the 7th month that Ishmael, the son of Nehemiah, the son of Elisama, of the seed royal, and one of the chief officers of the king, and 10 men, came with him, and came unto Gedaliah, the son of Hakim, to Mizpah, and there they did eat bread together in Mizpah. Then arose Ishmael the son of Nethaniah, and the 10 men that were with him, and they smote Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, with a sword, and slew him whom the king of Babylon had made governor over the land. Ishmael also slew all the Jews that were with him, to wit, with Gedaliah at Mizpah, and the Chaldeans that were found there, the men of war. So he's killing those guards that are guarding man among them, the Jews, Gedaliah. It came to pass on the second day after he'd slain Gedaliah, and no man knew it. See, this guy, Joanna wanted to say, I'll take care of him, I'll kill him, no one know it. Well, what happens to Gedaliah? No one knows it. Second day there came men from Shechem, from Shiloh, and from Samaria, even 80 men, having their beards shaven, their clothes rent, and having cut themselves with meal offerings and frankincense in their hand, to bring them to the house of Jehovah. And Ishmael the son of Nethaniah went forth from Mizpah to meet them, weeping all along as he went. And it came to pass as he met them, he said unto them, Come to Gedaliah the son of Ahikam. What do you think about him now? We say evil. Is he kind of deceptive, David? Yeah, untrustworthy. That's right. And he's kind of weeping with them. He's one of them. And it was so when they came to the midst of the city that Ishmael the son of Nethaniah slew them and cast them in the midst of a pit. And that has a history too. And the men that were with him, but 10 men were found among them that said unto Ishmael, Slay us not, for we have stores hidden in the field of wheat and of barley and of oil and honey. So he forbare and slew them not among their brethren. Is he taking care of number one? Taking care of himself? We'll bribe you, don't kill us. You can have these things. Now the pit where Ishmael cast all the dead bodies of the men whom he had slain by the side of Gedaliah, the same was that which Asa the king had made for fear of Baasha, king of Israel. And it says, Ishmael the son of Nethaniah filled it with them that were slain. And Ishmael carried away captive all the residue of the people that were in Mizpah, even the king's daughters, all the people that remained in Mizpah, whom Nebuzaradan the captain of the guard committed to Gedaliah the son of Ahikam. Ishmael the son of Nethaniah carried them away captive and departed to go over to the children of Ammon. Getting back to where the plan started. And he's just demolishing this core of people, and he's fleeing. So he's very deceptive, he's dishonest, he's greedy, and he's one that, as David says, cannot be trusted. And that's what is taking place there. So here's Johanan that warned him. He's now going to have to clean up, isn't he? He's going to have to deal with things. So any other thoughts about his character that you see there? Okay. Question number 8. What was the expressed desire of the people when they asked Jeremiah to pray to God over what they should do following the assassination of Gedaliah? Did they want to know what to do? They were asking for what they should, how they should behave themselves in this particular situation. Okay. 42:3, that Jehovah thy God may show us the way wherein we should walk and the thing that we should do. So, Johanan is one, verses 11 and following. Any questions about that? I'm passing over that. Verse 16, then took Johanan the son of Kareah and all the captains of the forces with them, all the remnant of the people whom they resolved, who had recovered from Ishmael. He took them, the women. Verse 17, they departed and dwelt in Geruth, Shemai, and which is by Bethlehem, so that's outside of Jerusalem. And he said, for they were afraid of them because Ishmael the son of Nethaniah had slain Gedaliah the son of Ahikam, the king of Babylon, made governor of the land. So then all the captains of the forces and Johanan the son of Kareah, all the people from the least unto the greatest came near. And they said unto Jeremiah the prophet, let me let we pray thee, our supplication be presented before thee. Supplication means we have a need. And this is our need. What should we do? And he says that God, even for all this remnant, for we are left but a few of many, as thine eyes do behold us, that Jehovah thy God may show us the way wherein we should walk, and the thing that we should do. So that's what they wanted. Thank you. Then verse 4, Jeremiah the prophet said unto them, I have heard you. Behold, I will pray unto Jehovah your God according to your words. And it shall come to pass that whatsoever things Jehovah shall answer you, I will declare unto you. I will keep nothing from you. Then they said to Jeremiah, Jehovah be true, and faithful witness among us, if we do not according to all the word wherewith Jehovah thy God shall send thee to us. Whether it be good or whether it be evil, we will obey the voice of Jehovah our God, to whom we send thee, that it may be well with us when we obey the voice of Jehovah our God. Let's put our best thoughts on their intentions. Was that good, noble to say that? It sounded good, didn't it? That's right. It sounded good. Maybe they wanted to hear what God has to say, but they placed themselves in a pretty bad place, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Maybe we don't want to do that. It'd be harmful to us, we think. We're going to obey Jehovah. We'll obey the voice, so it will be well with us. Well, it came to pass after 10 days, the word of Jehovah came unto Jeremiah. Does prayer sometime answered later? This is Jeremiah praying. Why didn't he get it that day? God's capable of doing that. But we see here after 10 days the word came. Let them dwell. Here's what they said they promised to do. And God has his reasons for that when he answers prayer and that sort of thing. But it's just interesting. After 10 days the word Jehovah came to Jeremiah. Then called he Johanan the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces that were with them, and all the people from the least even the greatest, and said unto them, Thus saith Jehovah the God of Israel, unto whom you sent me to present your supplication before him. If ye will still abide in this land, then will I build you and not pull you down. I will plant you and not pluck you up. For I repent me of the evil that I have done unto you. God doesn't sin. But it's evil because what's happened to Jerusalem? It's destroyed. That's the evil that God's done to them. But it's based upon their actions. It's based upon what they've done. But I will change my mind because he has plucked them up. He has sent them to captivity. He has torn them down. But he said, I will build you up and not pull you down. I will plant you and not pluck you up. I will not do this that has happened. It's not that he repents, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that to you. No, that's not the point. We misinterpret that. He says, but be not afraid of the king of Babylon, of whom you are afraid. Be not afraid of him, saith Jehovah, for I am with you to save you and deliver you from his hand. And I will grant you mercy. Why do I need mercy? Because I've done wrong. Now Jerusalem has paid the price. Here's the remnant that is left, the very poor, and I'm going to be there to help you. He's already, through Gedaliah, already providing provisions for them. He said, I will grant you mercy that you may have mercy upon you and cause you to return to your own land. But if you say, we will not dwell in the land, so that you obey not the voice of Jehovah your God, saying, no, but we will go into the land of Egypt, where we shall see no war, nor hear the sound of the trumpet, nor have hunger of bread, and there will we dwell. Now therefore hear ye the word of Jehovah, O remnant of Judah. Thus saith Jehovah of hosts, the God of Israel, if indeed you set your faces to enter into Egypt and go to sojourn there, then it shall come to pass that the sword which ye fear shall overtake you there in the land of Egypt, and famine, whereof you're afraid, shall follow hard after you there in Egypt, and there ye shall die. And so it shall be with all the men that set their faces to go to Egypt to sojourn there. They shall die there. And the famine, the pestilence, so forth will take place. I know that's extensive reading, but you get the picture that he made it very plain what God would have them to do. They want them to stay. Of course, next week we'll have our gospel meeting. But what happens? What took place there? As you already know, they refused to do that. And what did they do? Like the Jews of old, let's go find a national power of Egypt. Though Chaldeans been whipping them, we'll go down there because it's better than what we got here. And what I want you to pay attention to, if all of this had happened and Jerusalem been destroyed and so forth, why would you still be worshiping idols? That's what the women were doing when they go down to Egypt. That's probably why they wanted to go there. There's our gods. They didn't believe God anyway. They're the ones that are some of the problem. But that remnant that was there, they automatically start offering up drink offerings and offering up incense unto the queen goddess of Egypt. And I said, of all the stuff that's happened that God predicted through Jeremiah, I might be slow to do that, but that's where their heart is. And now we're worshiping God, Egypt's God, and we're here being protected by Egypt, and they could not escape the hand of the Lord. And we'll see what happens to them. But Jeremiah and Baruch, they have to be there and suffer with them because they chose to be with the people. So we'll go through this a little bit quicker because of the extensive reading I have to do. Any questions or comments you might have about that? A couple of weeks from now, we'll review some of this and finish up lesson 10 and go into lesson 11. Any comments before we close? Okay, thank you very much for your participation.